Hi people, I'm Annelia. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all, it's September. September is PCOS Awareness Month, and so I wanted to come on here real quick, not only because it's PCOS Awareness Month, but also because I recently had a doctor's appointment. Now, this appointment was with my doctor back home in the Bahamas. I love this woman. I love this woman, okay? This doctor has been my family doctor since I was a little girl. Just keep in mind, to throw it out there, FYI, she is a general practitioner. But I trust everything that comes out of this woman's mouth. Not once has she ever been wrong about something that has been going on with me, no matter what area it has been in. And not just me, but she's my family doctor. So anytime something has happened to me, my brother, my parents, she was never wrong. I trust this woman. On top of that, she's very thorough, especially compared to the doctors that I've dealt with recently. I told you guys in a previous video that I dealt with a doctor who I might as well just come out and say it. I think he's racist. I did not feel comfortable. Got barely any information from him when it came down to PCOS and what was going on with my body. He didn't even try to help. He did nothing at all, didn't test me for anything. He didn't try to figure out what it was. So that was a terrible experience. I was bleeding nonstop, and it was heavy, it was painful. I was losing so much blood, I was starting to feel so weak and drained and tired, and he was like, I could care less, now get out of my office and go pay the bill. And then I had another doctor. She is okay, she's okay, but I get no information from her. It's like I have to go home, do my own research, and then pay more money to come back and see her and ask her, hey, do you think this will help me with the PC? Like, before I get too carried away, I say all of this to say, compared to all these other doctors that I've been dealing with recently, my family doctor, she has forever been that doctor. She has forever been the person that I trust when it comes to my health, no matter what area it's in. So I just recently had a video call with her because I'm not home in the Bahamas right now. I'm in America still, but I was like, I need to talk to a doctor that I trust. I need to talk to a doctor that I know is very thorough and really cares about what I'm going through, really cares about me getting better, really cares about my health. And I was like, she's the one. I need to go and talk to her. So I did. And I just thought, since it's PCOS Awareness Month, I would share a little bit about what we spoke about in our video call. And a lot of what she said kind of caught me off guard. Like I said, she's a general practitioner. So it's not like this is her specialty area. But I still do trust everything that comes out of this woman's mouth. So when she told me certain things, I'm like, this goes against the PCOS rules that we all have come to know. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm gonna call this video Unpopular Opinions About PCOS. I wanna make this more of a debate, more of a discussion, more of a, is what she's saying really true, or are we gonna stick to the PCOS guidelines and rules that we see all over the internets, all over Beyonce's internets? So that's more of what this is. This is more so a debate. This is a discussion, or at least I would like it to be. But I have my laptop here, so if you see me looking down, that's what it is. I wrote down some of the things we discussed. So yeah, this is 7 unpopular opinions about PCOS. So y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's get into this video.
PCOS guidelines are just that, guidelines. What works for one won't necessarily work for all.
I put this as number 1 because this is important to keep in mind for the other 6 of these unpopular opinions. This is what she constantly said throughout our entire video call. I mean, I kind of feel like everybody kind of knows this, but because PCOS does have these like guidelines and rules, I think a lot of us try to follow them. And what my doctor was saying was, yeah, those rules and guidelines may help some women with PCOS, but it does not work for all women with PCOS. And I think that's very important to take into consideration when trying to figure out how you want to go about healing your body. I was one of those people who I read something on Beyonce's internet and I said, okay, they said I can't do this, I'm not going to do this. They said I can't eat this, I'm not going to eat this. There's no other way to heal the PCOS other than to follow these guidelines strictly. And my doctor is saying, well, that's not necessarily the case. I continue to say this. Every time I talk about PCOS, I say it's trial and error. You got to figure out what works for you in your body and what doesn't.
You don't have to limit what fruits you eat based on glycemic index. In other words, we don't just got to be out here eating berries, y'all. We don't.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's done my research, and Beyonce's internet said that, women with PCOS should try to stay away from some fruits, but eat a lot of berries. Berries are great for women with PCOS. And I'm not saying that that's not true. What my doctor was saying was, we know that most fruits are known to be healthy. So what she was saying was, PCOS or not, once it's a fruit, incorporate it into my diet. Eat more fruits, no matter what the fruit is. I hate bananas. I'm not a big fan of bananas. But I mean, every once in a while, I do crave a banana. Can I not eat a banana? You can eat more than just berries, is what my doctor was saying. Are there any PCOS girlies out there who eat all the fruits and not just berries, and they can say for a fact that, hey, eating these other fruits have not caused my PCOS symptoms to worsen or anything like that? I never understood. I never thought eating other fruits was going to make you worse, make your symptoms worse. But if you were to go on the internet, they said eat a lot of berries with PCOS. The rest of the fruits, high glycemic index. So yeah, that's number 2.
You may have other conditions that are making your PCOS symptoms worse.
Basically, when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I took a blood test, and that is how my doctor here in the States diagnosed me with PCOS. And she was like, you have high androgen levels and you have irregular / non-existent periods. And she said the only thing we don't know is if you have cysts on your ovaries, because we haven't done a scan. But she was like, everything else is adding up to PCOS. So when I spoke to my Bahamian doctor about it, she was like, well, did your doctor run any other tests? And I'm like, no, we just did that. My doctor said, yep, you definitely do have PCOS. But she said what she would have done was she would have worked her way from the bottom up. So she would have also made sure that I don't have any other conditions that sometimes work hand in hand or go hand in hand with PCOS that tend to worsen PCOS symptoms. I'm experiencing a lot of weight gain. While weight gain and rapid weight gain, hard to lose weight, is associated with PCOS, a thyroid condition can also be associated with PCOS, and it can worsen the weight gain problem. She now also wants me to do tests to make sure I don't have a thyroid condition. And she also mentioned iron. Just a little backstory. When I was younger, I think I was in junior high school maybe, I got really sick. I just felt super, super weak, and I passed out, or I was on the verge of passing out. It's kind of blurry. I don't remember exactly what happened. I was in and out of it, and my vice principal, she had to rush me to the doctor, and they sent me home for the rest of the day. When my parents got home, they took me to this same doctor, because like I said, she's been my doctor since forever. She basically told my parents that I had a low
Red blood cell count.
So when we had this most recent video call, she was like, from a long time ago, I've been saying you just might be anemic. So she was like, I want you to go get tested to also see if you have an iron deficiency. She said a lot of women with PCOS also tend to have an iron deficiency. And when you have an iron deficiency, it also causes your hair to drop out. I've been mentioning in previous videos how I'm experiencing hair loss and how I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, she was like, she said she personally would have also tried to see if I had other deficiencies or other conditions that often are linked to PCOS or associated with PCOS. Also, she told me pre-diabetes is very common. I'm sure a lot of us know that pre-diabetes and diabetes is very common when you have PCOS. She also wants me to go and get tested to make sure that I'm not pre-diabetic. And she said all of these things are what can also make PCOS symptoms worse. How many of you women with PCOS also suffer from other conditions, like maybe a thyroid condition, or you're pre-diabetic, or you're diabetic, or you have an iron deficiency, you're anemic?
Any exercise is good exercise. It doesn't have to be low impact.
You don't have to just do low impact exercises. You can do whatever workout you enjoy doing as long as you are active at least 4 days out of the week. For those who don't know, which I think a bulk of us know, PCOS rules state that we're supposed to do low impact exercises, and yes, 3 to 4 days a week. So that part I'm not debating. It's the you don't have to do low impact exercises part that I want us to debate. There are a lot of women who are like, oh, I was doing cardio and this and that, and it wasn't working out for me, and I saw results when I was doing low impact exercises, whereas my doctor is saying once it's an exercise that you enjoy and it gets you moving and it gets you active and it keeps you moving and it keeps you active because you're not dreading doing it, do it. Because it helps, because you're moving. And with PCOS, diet and exercise are like the two top things that we can do to try to heal ourselves, other than supplements and vitamins and medications. So, do you believe that it's true that any form of exercise is good when you have PCOS and not just low impact exercises? I don't know about that one. It gets drilled into our minds so much that, walking or lifting weights and those are the things that we normally do with PCOS, not really high impact workouts. You're told that's a no-no with PCOS because you're going to raise your, what is it called? The cortisol. How do you pronounce it? The cortisol? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. What do you guys think about that one? Because I don't know.
Strict intermittent fasting and skipping meals only makes things worse.
This one was very interesting. I'm just going to read everything that I wrote down here. This is what my doctor said. She said, very few women actually keep up with intermittent fasting for an extended period of time, especially if it's very strict intermittent fasting where you only eat one meal a day. She also went on to explain that when we skip meals, we actually tend to gain more weight. Skipping meals causes our metabolism to slow down, which as a result causes more weight gain and or makes it even harder to lose weight. The best way to fast is to maybe cut off your eat time around 7 or 8 p.m. and allow your body to fast as you sleep. And of course, make sure you eat a protein-heavy breakfast when you wake up. I have friends who are nurses and they actually told me this very same thing before. And you know how it is when people who you're close to will tell you something and you don't really listen, but it takes a stranger or somebody else telling you and then you listen, but it's the exact same thing that the person close to you said. This is what's going on. My friends who are nurses told me this. They told me and I'm like, yeah, but I think I'm gonna still do what I'm doing, which is the strict intermittent fasting where I only eat one meal a day. But, my doctor's like, that's a big no-no, girl. That is a huge no-no. A lot of women with PCOS, they swear that fasting is it for them and it works for them and it's doing them justice. So this one, I don't know. Ever since that video call with my doctor, I've definitely been eating breakfast every morning. I've definitely not skipped a bunch of meals. I have not been starving myself, trying to be on this strict fast. I've been eating. Now, I haven't been eating healthy, but I've been eating. But has intermittent fasting, where you're on a strict fast and you only eat one meal a day or you only eat between 1 or 2 hours a day, has that worked for any of you with PCOS? Or has it made you gain more weight? Has it not worked and you kind of kept the weight on? I'm curious to know. I'm very curious to know.
You don't have to give up junk food and or sugar. Thank you. This is my favorite one.
This is one thing I'm so happy my doctor said. Most women feel they have to cut out foods they love in order to fight and overcome PCOS. She was like, you don't have to cut out chocolate. Just like many other women with PCOS, I crave a lot of sugar. I crave sugar like a pregnant woman. I need it. When I want it, I need it. I'll do anything for, not anything, but I'll do a lot just to get me some sugar. I will walk to the store for a bag of almond kisses. I don't know, lately, almond kisses and the little sour gummy worm candies, those two things have been my weakness lately when it comes to sugar. So I was happy to hear my doctor say, you don't have to cut that stuff out. Whereas there are some women with PCOS who strongly believe cutting it out is the key. You don't need it, period. My doctor's like, no, you can still have it. The trick is you don't eat the whole bag of almond kisses. You have a few. You have like a handful and then you save the rest for a later date. And she said you don't eat it every day. You have a handful now and maybe another handful in a few days or next week. Have a treat maybe once a week or so. You can't have the whole bag in one sitting. That part was hard for me to hear. You could have it, but you can't have all of it. Yeah, no, I did not like that. Because to be honest, if I eat one almond kiss, I have to have the whole bag. I have to. You can't just tell me to eat 1 or 2 or 3. Don't do that. Why are you teasing me? I can't tease myself like that. But that's just something that I have to work on. and that I'm sure many other women will have to work on when it comes to this. Are you the type of woman with PCOS who believes, no, you don't have it, cut it out completely? Or are you the type of woman that's like, you can have it, just in moderation?
A lot of us are over supplementing and making the PCOS worse.
Taking too many supplements can make things worse. Just for those of you who did not watch one of my previous videos, it was my 6-month update on taking the Mayo and Decairo and inositol. I talked about how for like a good 2 months I did not see a period, and there could have been multiple reasons why. One of the reasons could have been because I missed a whole week of taking the inositol. Another reason could be because I started a ton of other vitamins and supplements all at once. I told my doctor, hey, I don't know why I missed my period for those 2 months. Can you help me figure it out? And she said that it could very much be because I took so many supplements all at once, and I started them all at once too. And she said to me, sometimes we tend to want to take all of these vitamins and we want to take all of these supplements that our bodies don't necessarily need. If you have more than enough than what your body needs, your body doesn't really know what to do with it. And so it causes more imbalances in your body, which us with PCOS, we already have a hormonal imbalance. We don't want to cause more imbalances, but that's basically what happens when you take a bunch of supplements that you don't need. I was taking the Mayo and Decairo inositol. I was taking DIM. Let me stop right there. Inositol and DIM, those two are the supplements that my doctor here in the States prescribed to me. These other supplements and vitamins that I'm about to list, she did not prescribe those to me. I did my own research and I took it upon myself to start these supplements. So let me list the other ones. I started taking omega-3s from fish oil. I started taking fenugreek, and I started drinking spearmint tea. I feel like there was more, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, my doctor was like, if you don't have a deficiency in these areas, you're taking these supplements, it's going to cause your body to have more imbalances. And it could very much cause, yes, your period to not come, because you have all these things going on. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. So your body is like malfunctioning almost. You have to be careful when it comes to just doing research and seeing that the internet said, oh, omega-3 from fish oil is good from PCOS, which is true. It's very true. But do I need more of that in my body? What my doctor is basically saying is it's important to go and speak to your doctor before starting all these supplements. Make sure that you have a deficiency. Make sure your body has a need for these supplements and vitamins before taking them. I've joined a lot of PCOS support groups, and there are women in there posting pictures or listing off like 20 different supplements and vitamins that they're taking. And I'm not saying they personally don't need all of those, but I think a lot of us PCOS women do tend to look on the internet and see that certain things are good for PCOS, and then we take them without consulting a doctor first. And then we're causing things to get worse. We're causing our body to become worse. We're causing the PCOS to become worse, because now we're just filling up our body with things we don't even need, and our body doesn't know what to do with it. But yeah, that is all 7 of the unpopular opinions that me and my doctor discussed during our video call. I kind of believe everything she's saying, partially because I want to. Like with the fruits thing, I love fruits. I don't want to have to be limited when it comes to fruits. And so when she said, hey, you don't just have to eat berries, you can eat other fruits, I'm like, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. With the whole eating in moderation, I want to believe that that's true, because I don't want to have to give up my almond kisses and my trolley candy. Yeah, let's debate. Let's talk about it, because we can all help each other. But yeah, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye, y'all.